Have you ever imagined a river that does not simply flow, but sings songs that only the silence of the night can hear? Let this question echo within your mind as an invitation, a gentle calling to open the gates of imagination and step into a place where reality blends with dreams. Close your eyes for just a moment and see if you can hear it. Perhaps it is only the sound of your own breathing, perhaps it is the wind brushing against the trees. But what if, hidden beneath it all, there was a melody waiting to be discovered? The whispering river is not made of water alone. It is formed from ancient stories, from secrets time left upon the stones, from voices so soft they only reveal themselves when the night wraps the world in its blanket of stars. Imagine yourself seated by this river. The full moon reflects on its calm surface, turning each ripple into liquid silver. The air is fresh, yet never cold. It awakens and soothes at once, as though every particle of oxygen were crafted from serenity itself. You notice the river does not rush. It flows at its own pace, without urgency, without effort. And within that rhythm, it sings. It is not an ordinary song. These are not words you recognize, but sounds that glide directly into your heart. It feels as if the river has learned, through centuries, the language of rest, a language that requires no understanding, only surrender. As you listen, something within you begins to slow. Thoughts grow lighter, like fallen leaves carried effortlessly downstream. Perhaps you wonder where this melody comes from. Is it the water brushing the stones? The wind threading through the banks? Or is it something beyond, a music invisible that appears only when someone is ready to hear it? The question remains, but it does not disturb you. On the contrary, it creates a gentle wonder, a subtle mystery that awakens your curiosity and invites you to stay longer. As you listen more closely, you notice every part of the scene seems to join this song. The trees sway slowly, as though following the rhythm. The star-filled sky sparkles, marking the tempo. Even the wind drifts more gently, adjusting itself to the harmony. You are not simply listening to a river, you are stepping into a natural symphony, where each element plays its part, and where you yourself are also part of the music. Take a deep breath now, as though you wish to store the sound of this river inside you. Hold it for a moment, feeling calm expand within. Release it slowly, as though you were giving back to the world everything you no longer need to carry. In this simple act of breathing, you realize you are already tuned to the river's song. Your breath becomes part of the melody. You are not only listening, you are participating. And the more you participate, the more the river reveals itself. The sound is not only gentle, it is hypnotic, magnetic, as if it were created solely to guide you into this moment. A moment where there is no urgency, no demand, no weight. Only the promise that if you continue listening, you will be carried deeper into rest. The river sings stories you do not need to grasp with the mind. They speak directly to the soul, stories of silence, of trust, of the beauty of simply being. Each murmur seems to whisper, you can let go. You can rest. And as you hear it, your body responds naturally, releasing tension, softening resistance, allowing itself to simply exist. Now imagine that this melody is not only outside of you, it begins to vibrate within. First in the heart, which finds a calmer rhythm. Then in the muscles, loosening like strings untied. Finally, in the mind, which no longer searches for answers but instead follows the flow. You and the river become mirrors of each other, both flowing, both singing, both resting. Perhaps this is the river's true secret. It does not sing to be heard, but to remind you of something you always knew, but had forgotten. That calm is always available. That deep sleep is a natural return. That peace is not a distant place, but a presence awakened when you allow yourself to listen. In this instant, under the song of the whispering river, you understand, the night itself is a song, and sleep is the dance born from it. There is nothing to force, nothing to seek. Only to listen, to breathe, and to let yourself be carried. The river keeps singing, and you keep listening, deeper and deeper, closer to where dreams begin. Welcome to this journey of sleep, a place created for you, where time slows down, the body finds rest, and the mind allows itself to be guided by waters that whisper softly just for you. As you arrive here, you do not need to bring anything except your presence. Everything that happened during the day can remain outside, as though you had crossed an invisible threshold that separates agitation from serenity. This is a safe space, carefully prepared to hold every thought, every breath, every moment of your rest. Imagine yourself sitting in a hidden sanctuary by the whispering river. All around you, there is only the calm of night. There are no interruptions, no demands. It feels as if the world itself has been placed on pause, allowing you to dedicate this time entirely to yourself. Here, nothing can reach you. You are protected by nature itself, guarded by the gentle light of the moon, and cradled by the continuous song of flowing waters. As you breathe deeply, you realize this space is not only physical. It is also a state of being, an inner refuge you can return to whenever you need. The whispering waters do not judge, do not question, do not demand. They only sing, reminding you that life has its own rhythm, a slower, softer rhythm, and you can choose to follow it now. Every detail has been prepared for your comfort. The night breeze drifts just enough to refresh without bringing cold. The sound of the river is constant, but never intrusive. It repeats with the perfect balance to soothe, like an endless lullaby. The moon casts silver reflections upon the surface, creating shapes that move slowly, almost like secret symbols only you can understand. Everything here seems to speak the same language, the language of rest. You sense you are not alone. Not because other people are here, but because there is a subtle presence surrounding everything. It is the presence of the night itself, welcoming you like a mother welcomes her tired child. It is the feeling of being cared for, of being supported, of finally being in a place where you can let your guard down. Here, there is no need to struggle, no need to force. Only permission to relax. Take another deep breath and notice how the air fills your lungs with calm. Hold it for a moment, letting serenity expand within you, and then release it, as if each exhale were a conscious act of surrender. With every cycle of breath, this space becomes more and more yours. The river sings, the moon watches, the wind caresses, and everything joins together to make you feel welcome. Perhaps you wonder, why does this place feel so familiar, even if you have never visited it before? The answer lies in the fact that this space is, in part, created by you. It emerges from your imagination, yet it also has its own existence. It is a universal refuge, available to all who seek rest. And still, in this moment, it belongs only to you. While you remain here, allow your mind to slow down. There is no need to resolve unfinished tasks, no urgency to remember commitments. All those things can wait outside, for now you are inside the circle of rest. The whispering river will be the guardian of your sleep, carrying away everything that no longer serves you. You are safe. That is the central message of this space. Safe to close your eyes. Safe to release the tension in your shoulders. Safe to surrender yourself to the unknown of sleep, trusting that nothing harmful can reach you. Safe to know that while you rest, life continues to flow like the river, gentle, constant, without hurry. Sometimes it may feel difficult to believe such a place exists. Yet the proof lies right before you, in the soft sound of the water, in the sense of welcome, in the silence that surrounds you. This is not just the backdrop of a sleep story. It is a reminder that you deserve peace, that you are allowed to stop, that it is possible to close your eyes without fear. And as these truths take root, your body begins to respond. Muscles relax, your heartbeat slows, your mind gradually releases the threads that tied it to the day. The river continues to sing, and you realize there is nothing to fear, nothing to prove. You are, at last, home. Imagine yourself at the edge of a moonlit river. The water reflects the stars, and every gentle ripple carries a soft sound, like a natural lullaby written just for tonight. The scene is simple, yet deeply magical, as if the night itself chose this place to offer you a private, wordless concert. You are here now, present and unhurried, listening to a river that does more than flow. It speaks, it sings, and it invites your mind to rest. All around you, tranquility settles like silver dust. The sky, wide and velvet deep, stretches in every direction, threaded with constellations. Some stars gleam boldly, others blink with shy, tender light. Together they weave a quiet choreography across the surface of the water. The moon, full, patient, protective, hovers over the river like a silent guardian, pouring liquid silver over each wavelet. A night breeze drifts in, cool but kind, carrying the clean scent of damp earth and leaves. Nothing here rushes. Nothing demands. Every detail collaborates to compose serenity. The trees along the bank lean slightly, as if nodding to the rhythm of the river's song. The whisper of moving branches is delicate, almost imperceptible, yet it belongs to the music of this place. There is no conductor, and still the harmony holds. Water, wind, leaf, and starlight keep time together. You are not merely looking at a landscape, you have stepped into a living composition where sight, sound, and touch join to form a single, soothing experience. Feel the ground beneath you, steady, welcoming. The cool grass grounds your body with a gentle reminder, you are supported. With each breath, your weight seems to settle where it needs to, as if a portion of the day's burden quietly slips away. This atmosphere appears designed for one intention only, to help you loosen, trust, and soften into the present moment. Close your eyes and listen beneath the obvious. There is the steady murmur of the river, yes, but behind it are hidden layers, the distant hum of night insects, the faint rustle of leaves, the softest sibilance of wind threading the stones. Each sound, however small, contributes to a lyric without words. It is a song meant to calm, to beckon sleep, to guide your mind toward an inner hush where peace can be heard. The longer you notice, the more you understand that nothing here hurries. The river does not force its way downstream. The wind does not push. The stars do not strain to shine. Everything moves by a natural, softened tempo, as if the night had all the time in the world for you. This realization gathers around your shoulders like a warm shawl. In this place there is no urgency, no deadline, no need to be anywhere else. Only being, only feeling, only breathing. You may sense that this setting responds to your inner movements. When you inhale more deeply, the water seems to glow brighter. When you exhale slowly, the breeze gentles further. It is as though the world around you is attuned to your rhythm, mirroring your calm and returning your surrender. That invisible connection awakens a quiet belonging. You are not an observer, you are part of the atmosphere. Now imagine each star reflected in the river as a thought dissolving. Some spark vividly, then drift away on the current, replaced by others that also appear and fade. None of them stays fixed. The river takes them all, until only clear water and night serenity remain. This flowing is natural, inevitable, and you allow yourself to be carried with the same trust. Bit by bit, your mind begins to associate every detail with rest. Moonlight becomes softness behind your eyes. The river's murmur becomes the cadence of your breath. The cool breeze translates into lightness through your limbs. The atmosphere adjusts around you like a well-fitted cloak, preparing the pathway to deep sleep with gentle, invisible stitches. And so, at the edge of this moonlit river, you realize you are standing inside a sanctuary of quiet. It needs no explanations to exist. It welcomes you without effort, simply because you are here. The river keeps singing. The stars keep reflecting. The moon keeps watching. And you, slowly and sweetly, begin to notice that you are already being cradled toward dreams, closer with every breath, calmer with every passing moment, ready to drift where the whispering current leads. Close your eyes and listen. The waters murmur words without language, melodies without form. And still, you understand. Not because there is logic to be analyzed or sentences to be translated, but because your entire being responds to the call. It feels as though the river has discovered a hidden shortcut, a way to speak directly to your soul, bypassing the need for thought or vocabulary. The river does not need complete phrases, it does not need explanations. The sound alone is enough. The rhythm is enough. The whisper is enough. At first, it may seem like nothing more than a faint indistinct murmur, like the wind brushing against stones or the echo of a song you cannot quite remember. But as you allow yourself to sink deeper into listening, you begin to notice patterns. There are pauses that resemble breaths. There are vibrations that sound like syllables, even though they belong to no known tongue. Each curve of sound carries intention, an intention to invite, to embrace, to soothe. You discover that you do not need to understand in order to feel. The whispers of the water are not asking for analysis, they are asking for surrender. They offer a simple invitation: rest, release, allow yourself to be. With each moment that passes, the river repeats this message gently, almost like an invisible mantra weaving itself around you. What is most fascinating is how familiar these murmurs feel. Perhaps they remind you of a distant memory, the lull of a caring voice, the steady rhythm of calm breathing, or the comforting pulse of a heart close to yours. None of it is accidental. The river carries within it echoes of what is universal, sounds that every human recognizes at a deeper level. That is why there is no strangeness here, only recognition, only reunion. Each whisper is like a soft wave brushing across your mind, receding and leaving behind a smoother, quieter surface. Thoughts that once seemed turbulent begin to settle, like leaves finding their place among stones. Emotions that once surged like storms find a harbor of rest. You realize that without effort, you are being guided inward, toward that point of stillness that only reveals itself when the outer world is set aside. Breathe with the whispers. Inhale as you feel the sound rise. Exhale as it softens. Slowly, your breath and the river's song begin to weave together. This union is powerful. It transforms the act of breathing into a duet with nature, a silent ritual where every movement is matched, reinforced, and magnified by the current. And perhaps now a question arises within you: where does this calling come from? Is it simply your imagination shaping sound into meaning? Or does the river hold a subtle awareness, an ancient wisdom that has always been here, waiting for the moment someone would listen? You do not need definite answers. The gentle curiosity itself is enough to keep you present, attentive, connected. What matters is not solving the mystery, but feeling its effect. The river sings, and suddenly the tension in your shoulders dissolves. The river whispers, and unexpectedly the mind agrees to let go of its burdens. The river calls, and without noticing, you are closer to sleep than you were moments ago. It is a natural process, as inevitable as a current carrying you steadily toward rest. Close your eyes even deeper now. Imagine yourself floating upon these singing waters. Every ripple is a verse. Every droplet is a note. You do not need to steer. You do not need to control. You do not need to row. All you need is to be carried. The river does the guiding while you allow yourself to trust. And that trust is liberating, because it shows you that you do not have to hold everything alone. The river is willing to carry what you no longer need. With that, the murmurs become something greater. They are no longer merely sounds, they are sensations. They caress you from within, like vibrations moving through your body, realigning each part of you toward peace. Your heartbeat slows. Your breath deepens. Your muscles loosen into stillness. You sense that you are not simply listening to a river. You are listening to yourself, to a quieter, wiser, more serene version of who you are. And as this recognition deepens, surrender becomes inevitable. The whispers stop being external and begin to echo as your own inner voice, reminding you of something essential: you can rest. You deserve rest. You are allowed to simply close your eyes and drift. The river continues, eternal, constant, patient. It knows that some need more time to trust. That is why it never forces, never demands. It only sings, night after night, until each listener, in their own rhythm, accepts the invitation. Tonight, that invitation is yours. And now that you have heard the first whispers, you cannot forget them. They have become part of you. And though tomorrow the world may again demand attention, the sound of the river will remain inside you, ready to be remembered. A sound that will return each time you close your eyes and allow yourself to rest. Inhale as if drawing in the fresh air from the riverbank, hold it for a moment, and exhale as if you were releasing all your weariness into the waves, letting them carry every ounce of weight far away. Feel how this simple act of breathing turns into a silent dance with the river. Each inhale gathers purity into your being, the freshness of night, the softness of moonlight, the serenity of flowing water. Each exhale becomes an act of surrender, a quiet trust as you hand over to the river everything you no longer wish to carry. Notice how breathing, something so ordinary and automatic, can transform into a gateway to another state of being. With every inhale, it is as though you are collecting the calm energy of the riverbank, every particle of air infused with serenity. As you hold it for a brief second, that calm spreads within you, filling hidden spaces, dissolving tension. And as you exhale, imagine yourself offering your burdens to the water. The river does not question, does not judge, it simply accepts, taking away what you have released and transforming it into movement, into song, into silence. Do it again. Inhale slowly and steadily, hold it softly, and release it gently. The river follows your rhythm. When you breathe in, the current seems to shimmer brighter. When you breathe out, the waves grow softer, as though they understand what you have let go of. This is an invisible partnership. You give, the river receives. You breathe, the river sings. You release, the river carries. Perhaps you notice now that you have never paid such close attention to the depth of your own breathing. It becomes conscious. And in that awareness, a greater truth emerges: you are not alone. Your breath is a link, a fine thread connecting you to the night, to the river, to the universe itself. Each inhale welcomes the world inside you. Each exhale returns to the world what is no longer yours. A cycle eternal, simple, sacred. Imagine that every breath in is a step into a wider space. The cool air enters, flowing through your body, opening invisible doors in your mind. For a moment, everything seems to expand. And when you breathe out, the motion reverses, a gentle closing, a drawing inward, a soft rest. Just like the river's tide, you too carry this back and forth rhythm, an endless ballet between expansion and release. And in this ballet, there is no effort. It simply happens. Now, allow images to accompany your breath. As you inhale, visualize a soft light entering you, perhaps bluish like moon reflections or golden like threads of starlight. Hold that light briefly, letting it circulate through every cell like a healing balm. And as you exhale, picture a gentle mist leaving you, dissolving into the river, carried immediately downstream. There is no holding on, no return. What has been surrendered never comes back. Repeat this cycle as many times as you need. With each repetition, the sensation of lightness deepens. It is as if each breath removes one stone from the invisible pack you've been carrying. The river does not tire. It continues to sing, continues to carry, continues to return nothing but serenity. And if thoughts insist on rising again, let them too become part of the rhythm. Inhale calm. Hold trust. Exhale worry. Inhale silence. Hold clarity. Exhale the noise of the day. Transform everything into flow. Let everything move. Just as the river never clings to water, you do not need to cling to what has already served its purpose. Feel how your body responds as you continue. Shoulders descend. Face softens. Heart finds a slower tempo. The mind, once restless, begins to match the pace of the water. There is no struggle, no demand. Only breathing. Only surrender. And in this simple process, almost invisible, you uncover something profound. The river does not sing only to soothe. It sings to remind you that all of life has a flow. The air that enters, the air that leaves. The river that runs, the river that carries. The sleep that arrives, the body that rests. Everything unfolds in cycles. And right now, you are within a sacred cycle. The cycle of breathing, the cycle of rest, the cycle of letting go. Continue just a little longer. Inhale as though welcoming the calm of the universe. Hold as though savoring the present moment. Exhale as though releasing exhaustion, anxiety, and haste. The river accepts. The river transforms. The river sings. And so, guided breathing with the river becomes an invisible bridge. A bridge connecting your waking awareness to the realm of dreams. A bridge preparing you, step by step, to cross from here, where wakefulness still lingers, into there, where deep sleep awaits. With every breath, you draw closer to the crossing. With every exhale, you surrender more fully to the invitation of rest. Each breath harmonizes with the rhythm of the river. It sings when you inhale. It calms when you exhale. This is a silent dialogue between you and nature, a conversation without words, where only the sound of flowing water and the movement of your breath create a deeper understanding. You realize you are not merely listening to the river, you are conversing with it, joining an invisible symphony that unites body, mind, and the world around you. At first, this dialogue feels simple, almost imperceptible. But as you surrender to the rhythm, hidden layers begin to reveal themselves. When you breathe in, the river seems to rise, lifting its voice to match you. When you breathe out, it softens, as if acknowledging that you have given something to its current. It is a dance of reciprocity, where every gesture of yours finds an echo in the water. This discovery awakens a deep sense of belonging, as though you have remembered a forgotten language. With each cycle of breath, your mind drifts further inward. The heaviness of the hours behind you begins to dissolve, carried away by the current. Thoughts that once circled endlessly find a harbor of rest. Emotions that once surged like storms now align with the river's steady tempo. It feels as though nature itself, patient and generous, is teaching you how to return to your own center, to that quiet place within that has always been waiting. And perhaps you notice that what happens outside is only a reflection of what is happening inside. The river is not simply a backdrop, it is a mirror of your inner flow. When you breathe deeply, you realize there is also a river within you, a silent current carrying you gently toward rest. This realization transforms everything. Calm is not something you must reach for, it is something already alive within you. The inner journey begins here, with this recognition. Every inhale is a step forward. Every exhale is a release. You travel inward without moving, your closed eyes becoming open doors that lead to a place where time does not exist, where there is no urgency, where everything is simply presence. And in this space, the outer river and your inner river merge into one. Now imagine that as you inhale, you are drawing in fragments of starlight reflected on the water's surface. They enter you as tiny sparks, gently illuminating every part of your being. As you exhale, you release into the river everything you no longer need: worries, tension, heavy memories. The river accepts, transforms, and sings. This constant exchange creates a perfect balance. You receive light, you release weight, you take in peace, you let go of haste, you gather calm, you surrender anxiety. The journey deepens. You begin to sense there are no boundaries between inner and outer. The sound of the river does not only come from the banks, it vibrates in your chest. The glow of the moon is not only in the sky, it rests softly behind your closed eyes. The wind brushing your skin seems to move through your thoughts as well, clearing them, arranging them, leaving them transparent. This union feels so natural that you wonder how you did not notice before that everything is connected. And it is this connection that opens new pathways. As you follow the river's flow, you perceive inner trails you have not walked before. They are secret passages toward deeper rest. With every breath, you drift further away from the noise of waking thought and closer to the fertile silence of dreams. The river, patient and faithful, continues to guide you, reminding you there is no need to hurry. Each wave assures you that the destination is certain, absolute rest. Perhaps now images begin to rise softly, like early visions. They are not yet dreams, but precursors to them, colors swirling, shapes forming and dissolving, memories dissolving into symbols. Do not force them into meaning. Simply observe. These signs are gifts from your unconscious, invitations to continue drifting deeper. They appear because the river has opened the doorway, because your breathing has created space. At this stage, the inner journey is no longer an effort. It is a state. You are inside it, living it, becoming it. The river no longer sings only for you, it sings through you. Your breath and your awareness are its instruments. Together, you compose the melody that cradles your body, your mind, your soul. And as this symphony carries on, a profound trust arises. You realize you can let go completely. There is no risk. There is no fear. The river takes care. Your breath guides you. Sleep approaches, inevitable and sweet. This is the promise of the first inner journey, to lead you gently to the threshold of dreams, preparing you for the crossing toward deep and restorative rest. Now imagine that every drop of water is a liquid star. They stream together, sliding across the surface of the river, forming constellations in motion. It is as though the sky itself has dissolved into the current, and now the stars drift before your eyes, guiding you deeper and deeper into rest. There is no boundary between sky and earth, between river and firmament. All has merged into a single spectacle of light, movement, and silence. Each droplet shines with its own intensity. Some glimmer boldly, as though calling out for your attention. Others flicker gently, quiet but present, like secret signals. Yet all of them flow together, united by a single purpose: to guide you toward deep sleep. You do not need to choose where to look. You simply witness the current. The droplets move onward, and you move with them, without effort, carried by trust alone. As you watch, you notice that the liquid stars seem to form shapes. At first, they resemble familiar constellations, perhaps a circle, perhaps a line of light, perhaps an arch glowing softly above the current. Then new designs appear, ones your mind has never seen before. They are symbols beyond language, yet they stir unmistakable feelings within you: peace, trust, surrender. Each image that emerges is like a key, unlocking inner doors that the weight of the day had locked shut. As these shapes shimmer into existence and fade away, your breath synchronizes with the unfolding scene. When you inhale, the stars brighten, as if reflecting the energy you are welcoming in. When you exhale, they slow their drift, as if honoring the release you are offering. This dance of light and motion creates such harmony that you no longer distinguish what is outside from what is inside. Everything flows together, seamlessly. The visualization expands further still. Now the entire river becomes a liquid sky. Every ripple transforms into galaxies moving in silence. You find yourself surrounded by whole universes, all drifting slowly, as though time itself has softened just for you. There is no rush, no noise, only the sense that infinity has drawn close to the rhythm of your breath. And in that infinity, you feel welcomed. The glow of the liquid stars is never harsh, it is gentle, tender, designed to soothe. Each point of light feels like an invisible hand reaching toward you, reminding you that you are not alone, reminding you that there is a safe way to cross the night. Every constellation that appears is a quiet compass pointing you in the same direction: rest. Perhaps you notice that some of these liquid stars seem to draw closer. They do not touch your skin, yet they move through your perception. One settles upon your chest, brightening your breath. Another rests upon your mind, bringing clarity. Another drifts into your shoulders, dissolving their weight. These stars are not only in the river, they are within you now, circulating inside, reorganizing everything into calm. And the longer you watch, the more you realize you are becoming part of the spectacle. You are no longer just someone seated by the riverbank. You are also one of these liquid stars. Your body glows from within. Your breathing merges with the current. Your awareness flows with the movement of the constellations. You are river. You are sky. You are light in motion. This expansion creates a sensation of indescribable lightness. Boundaries begin to dissolve. The body feels as though it is fading softly, blending into the current. Thoughts grow quiet, replaced by images that ask for no effort, no logic. All flows. All happens. And you, surrendered, let every detail carry you deeper still. The liquid stars continue on their way, forming constellations that never repeat. Each feels unique, as though it were created for this very moment. And yet, they all share the same essence, to guide you inward, to the place where rest is unavoidable. As you follow this flow, you realize there is nothing you need to do but trust. The river knows the path. The stars know the direction. Your breathing is already part of the process. You are guided, held, carried. Each stardrop is a silent guide leading you, step by step, toward the threshold of dreams. And so the visualization expands until you no longer need to imagine. The scene has taken root inside you. The river is the sky. The sky is the river. And you are at the center of this cosmic dance, ready to drift across the night in peace, ready to let the starlit waters do what they have always done, carry you gently into deep, restorative. A gentle breeze touches your skin. Nearby trees sway softly, moving in harmony with the song of the river. You are not a spectator, but part of this nocturnal symphony. At first, this realization feels subtle, almost invisible, but soon it expands, filling your entire awareness. Every detail around you, the wind, the trees, the water, seems to be in constant dialogue with you, reminding you that you were never separate from nature. You feel the coolness of night slide across your face like a quiet caress. There is no rush in this touch. It is an invitation. The breeze flows, and your skin responds. A faint shiver runs down your arms, not as a signal of cold, but as a signal of presence. Every particle of air carries a silent message: you belong here. As you inhale, that freshness enters you, refreshing not only the body but the mind, rinsing away worries, clearing away noise. The nearby trees seem to understand the rhythm of this exchange. Their branches sway gently, as though dancing to a hidden melody. Their movement is not chaotic, not random. It follows the cadence of the river, matching the same tempo as your breath. You watch, and you notice that you too are dancing with them, though still, though silent. Your chest rises and falls, your awareness expands and settles, and everything around you responds in unison. In this moment, you realize something profound. You are not witnessing a performance, you are within it. You are not just the listener, you are part of the song. The wind that brushes your skin is not only outside, it flows within, moving through your thoughts and emotions. The trees that sway are not only on the bank, they move within your mind, loosening rigid ideas, opening space for rest. The river that sings is not only before your eyes, it vibrates in every cell of your body, rocking you gently. And perhaps, softly, a question rises: has nature always been speaking to me, but I never paused to listen? The thought comes quietly, awakening a tender curiosity. Yes, perhaps the trees have always danced, perhaps the wind has always whispered, perhaps the river has always sung. But only now are you ready to hear. And in this listening, the connection reveals itself. As this realization grows, something in you relaxes even more deeply. There is no need for control. No need to direct. Nature does what it does, effortlessly and perfectly. The river flows without forcing. The trees grow without planning. The wind blows without choosing a path. And yet, everything fits together in harmony. This recognition enters you as a quiet lesson. Life does not need to be pushed. It can simply flow. Take a deeper breath and feel yourself woven into this flow. Inhale the freshness of the breeze. Hold it for a moment, as though cradling a piece of the universe within you. Exhale slowly, giving back to the air everything you no longer need. Notice how natural this exchange feels. You give, and you receive. You inhale, and you release. You are part of the cycle, just like every leaf, every wave, every star above. The nocturnal symphony continues. The sound of the river is the steady bass beneath it all. The wind is the soft melody weaving through the night. The trees are the strings, vibrating with every movement. And you, with your breath, you complete the orchestra. There is no separation between stage and audience. Every element is both musician and listener, each one a thread in the same song. And in this realization, you feel wholly embraced. It is as if the entire night has gathered only to cradle you. There is no sense of isolation here. No loneliness. Only belonging. Only union. Nature becomes your home, and sleep approaches as the natural conclusion of such acceptance. As you let this truth sink in, you surrender even more. Shoulders release. The mind opens. The heart finds its tempo. You resist nothing. You struggle against nothing. You simply breathe. You simply feel. You simply are. The river sings. The trees dance. The breeze caresses. And you, quietly, peacefully, drift into sleep, cradled by the greatest symphony of all, life itself. Your breathing slows, becoming deeper, more deliberate. The river responds, softening its flow, as if it understands that you are now ready to sink into serenity. Each inhale feels longer, fuller, as though you are drawing in not only air but also liquid peace. Each exhale carries away not only fatigue but any lingering resistance. You surrender, and the river receives that surrender in its endless song. In this moment, the entire environment seems to adjust itself to your inner state. The breeze grows calmer, the branches of the trees sway only slightly, and the stars hold their glow steady, shining as points of trust in the night sky. Even time itself appears to slow, stretching out, offering space for each second to be savored gently. Everything aligns with your rhythm, as though the whole night has chosen to follow the cadence of your breath. With every cycle of breathing, you notice yourself drifting further inward. It is not a physical descent, but a soft, graceful movement into the deeper layers of your being. Tensions peel away, like leaves falling quietly from a tree. First go the practical concerns of the day. Then recent memories, conversations, and lingering images. Eventually, even the most persistent thoughts begin to dissolve, like grains of sand washed away by flowing water. The river watches and mirrors your state. Its surface grows so calm it seems almost still. Yet if you listen closely, you can hear a subtle movement, a delicate slide, as though the river does not wish to disturb you, only to accompany you. It is the perfect reflection of what is happening inside you, outward stillness, inward flow. This balance creates a rare state where relaxation is no longer something you try to achieve, it simply happens. Your breathing now becomes the metronome of the night. Inhale slowly, feel the air fill every corner of your being. Hold it for a moment, as if savoring a precious secret. Exhale gently, letting your body release even more deeply. This rhythm, repeated again and again, not only deepens your calm but also strengthens your sense of presence. You are here, completely. There is nothing beyond this moment, and this moment is enough. Perhaps you begin to feel as though you are floating. Not in the river, not in the air, but somewhere between the two. Your body rests, heavy and surrendered, yet your mind seems to drift in soft waves, as though sailing across an invisible sea. It is a gentle floating, free of fear or pressure. It is comforting, reminding you that you can release control safely. With each deeper breath, new images may arise. Perhaps a moonlit field. Perhaps a memory softened into tranquility. Perhaps only colors, moving gently behind your closed eyelids. These images do not demand analysis. They do not require logic. They are signs that your mind is opening to the landscape of dreams. They are the first invitations to deeper rest, gifts from your unconscious rising like lanterns on the current. And as this happens, you notice how your body responds. Muscles soften. The face grows serene. The jaw, which often holds invisible weight, now releases. The heart settles into a slower, steadier rhythm, lulled by the river's constant hum. Even the flow of blood feels calmer, as though it circulates without urgency, knowing there is nothing left to do tonight but rest. Within this state arises a profound trust. You sense that you can go deeper, with no risk, with no fear. Nature is with you. The river guides. The breeze protects. The trees stand watch in quiet respect. The entire sky seems to guard your rest. You are safe, supported, embraced. There is nothing to fear, nothing to control. Only the choice to let go. And as this deepening continues, you recognize something even more profound. The river does not simply mirror your state, it leads you beyond it. Each time your breathing slows, the river softens further, and in turn, that softness invites you to breathe even more slowly. Together you create a cycle of descent, a gentle spiral toward serenity. It is like a dance where sometimes you lead, sometimes the river does, but both move toward the same destination, peace. As this truth becomes clear, you realize there is nothing left to do. The process carries itself. Your role is only to allow. Allow the breath to continue. Allow the river to sing. Allow the night to draw you deeper. It is simple. It is inevitable. It is natural. And so, in deepening the state, you enter a dimension where the boundary between waking and sleep begins to dissolve. You are no longer fully awake, but not yet fully asleep. You hover in the threshold, in that sacred space between worlds, where all is softness, where all is silence, where all is surrender. And it is here, precisely here, that rest becomes inevitable. And perhaps you begin to wonder, where does this melody come from? Who taught the river to sing? Was it the moon, whispering secrets onto the surface of the water? Or the stars, descending as threads of liquid light, turning movement into sound? Could it be the echoes of ancient memories, stored within the earth, released each time the breeze brushes across the current? Each breath brings you closer to an answer, or to the gentle pleasure of realizing you may never need one. Curiosity arises like a soft flame, not to stir restlessness but to keep your attention awake in a calm, steady way. You sense there is something more than your ears can capture. A hidden music vibrates between the lines of silence, and the river is only the instrument. The true composer may be the night itself, conducting with invisible hands, the wind, the water, the leaves, the reflections. All of them blending into one song that feels written just for you. As you breathe, you notice that you too are part of this creation. When you inhale, the melody seems to deepen, as though nourished by your presence. When you exhale, it stretches out, carrying your offering with it. You are audience and composer at the same time, a living part of this music. And this realization awakens not only peace but a quiet fascination. How can something so simple carry such profound depth? The more you wonder, the more you realize the answer may never need to arrive in words. The river does not explain. It sings. It does not translate. It shows. And what it shows is not something understood by the mind but felt by the heart. Each curve of the melody seems to open hidden doors within you, revealing spaces that had been waiting in silence. It feels less like the river is singing to you and more like it is reflecting the music that already exists in your own soul. At some point, you realize that the origin of the song is less important than your ability to hear it. The mystery itself becomes a gift. Because it is the not knowing that keeps the magic alive. To know might dim the flame. To wonder keeps it burning. Surrendering to mystery becomes one of the deepest secrets of rest. In this state, curiosity is not agitation but a soft anchor. It holds your attention gently, keeping your mind from drifting back to the noise of the day. Instead of circling through endless thoughts, you remain here, present, attentive, wrapped in the melody flowing before you. Curiosity becomes a silken thread, delicate yet steady, guiding you along the path of serenity. And the river seems to play with you. At times its sound grows stronger, as though whispering something important. Then it quiets, nearly disappearing, as if to test your listening. In this ebb and flow, you find yourself relaxing even more. There is no need to strain to understand. You only need to allow yourself to float, carried on invisible waves of song. With every breath, the mystery deepens. Has the river always sung this way, or is it only now that you have learned to listen? The question lingers within you like an ancient secret. Perhaps the river has always been the same. Perhaps it is you who has changed. Perhaps the song was always here, waiting for your inner ear to open. And as this thought settles, another wave of calm wraps around you. If the river sings now, and if you can hear it now, then there will always be hidden songs, always beauty disguised within simple things. Even in the busiest days, there will be melodies beneath the surface, waiting to be noticed. This awareness is more precious than any final answer. So you take another slow breath. The song continues. The mystery remains. But strangely, you find you no longer need the solution. The question has already served its purpose. It has held your attention here, in peace. And gradually you realize that the true answer is not in the river, or the wind, or the stars. The answer is in the rest that arrives, inevitable, when you give yourself fully to not knowing. And so, this soft curiosity anchor does not trap you in doubt, it anchors you in the present. It keeps you awake enough to follow the melody, and relaxed enough to fall into sleep. In this balance, between fascination and surrender, between question and silence, deep rest finds its way in, drawing closer with every moment, promising the kind of sleep that restores you completely. Before you, a bridge rises, woven not of stone or wood, but of water itself, illuminated by moonlight. It is not a structure of this world, yet it feels undeniable, as though it had always been here, waiting quietly for the moment when you were ready to see it. It glimmers like liquid silver, shimmering with each ripple, scattering reflections that look like stars drifting downward to touch the surface of the river. And suddenly, you understand, this is not just a vision, it is an invitation to cross into deep sleep. The bridge does not appear all at once. At first, it is only a brighter line on the water, a shimmer too steady to be an accident. Then the line lengthens, curves, and slowly rises into an arch that spans from one bank to the other. It is as though the moon herself has drawn a path for you, a glowing threshold between what has passed and what is yet to come. Each detail carries mystery and comfort at once. There is no rush, no demand. Only the quiet certainty that the moment to cross has arrived. As you gaze, you notice the bridge seems alive. It is not rigid, but fluid, moving as if in harmony with your breath. When you inhale, the arch brightens, glowing more intensely, almost as if smiling. When you exhale, it softens, leaning closer, as though inviting you to step forward. This synchronicity inspires trust. You realize that this is not an obstacle but a safe path, built precisely to guide you toward rest. For a fleeting moment, a question arises: is this bridge real? Or is it only an image woven by imagination at the edge of night? Yet the question fades quickly, because whether real or not, the bridge fulfills its purpose. It is a passage between states, a symbol carved out of moonlight and current to mark your journey from wakefulness to dreams. You take the first step. The floor beneath you, made of water and light, holds firm. It does not sink, does not give way. It feels like walking on waves turned solid, soft underfoot, but steady. With each step, circles of light ripple outward, expanding across the river and fading slowly into silver mist. And with each ripple, you feel lighter, as if the bridge were not only carrying you forward but also lifting away burdens you no longer need. As you advance, the air around you shifts. The breeze grows warmer, carrying a sweetness that seems to celebrate your decision to cross. The trees on the banks remain hushed, bowing in quiet reverence. Even the river itself seems to calm, as though acknowledging that from this point onward, the journey belongs not to water but to light. Above you, the moon spreads her glow like a protective mantle, guiding without a word, leaving no room for doubt. Every step on the bridge is a breath. Inhale, and the path seems to expand beneath you. Exhale, and the other side draws closer. It is not a race, nor a struggle. The crossing is as natural as the rhythm of your lungs, and as inevitable as the flow of the river. With each step, you sense something profound happening. Pieces of the day fall away behind you. Worries, anxieties, small tensions, they remain on the far bank, dissolving into the silver light of the current. At the center of the bridge, you pause. Looking back, you see the shore of memory, glowing faintly with everything that has already been lived. Looking forward, you glimpse the vast, open field of what has yet to unfold. But here, in the middle, there is no need to rush forward or return. Here, the present is enough. The bridge itself exists to remind you, sleep is not a distant destination but a gentle crossing, step by step. Each glance reveals the bridge in new ways. At times, it appears like liquid glass, shimmering beneath your feet. At other times, it seems to be spun from condensed moonlight. And in certain moments, you feel as though you are walking across a single, luminous beam that has descended from the sky. The shifting forms do not confuse you, they enchant. The bridge is alive, responding to your perception, adapting to what your spirit most needs in each moment. And slowly, as you move, you begin to see that the bridge is more than a path into deep sleep. It is a return to yourself. It is a way back to what is simplest and most true. What was scattered now gathers. What was restless now settles. What felt far away now rests within reach. The bridge is not only scenery, it is a living symbol of your inward passage. When you finally near the other side, you realize that something within you has changed. You arrive lighter, quieter, more surrendered. There was no effort, no challenge, only the certainty that every step carried you closer to serenity. The bridge has done its work, guiding you gently from the world of waking thought to the threshold of dreams. And now, deep sleep is no longer a possibility waiting on the horizon. It is a presence already here, inevitable, ready to embrace you fully. With every step across this liquid bridge, you leave worries behind. They do not fall away abruptly, but dissolve gently, like leaves carried off by the current. Weight that once felt inescapable now melts into the silver reflections of the moon, fading until it vanishes completely. And with every breath, the river lowers its song, softening into a lullaby designed to cradle your body into rest. Walking the bridge is not hurried. There is no urgency, because the destination is not a faraway place but a state of being. Each step is a transition, a small farewell to what no longer needs to follow you. With every movement forward, you sense that you are crossing not only the river but also an invisible threshold, the boundary between waking and dreaming. And perhaps you notice how breathing guides the entire process. Inhale, and feel the night's cool air filling your lungs, carrying serenity with it. Hold for a moment, and allow that calm to spread, nourishing every cell. Exhale, and along with the air, release the weight of the day, the tensions, the clutter of thoughts. The river receives it all and answers with a melody even softer, as though promising to care for everything you have released. The world around you joins this passage. The sky stretches wide, open and still, a great veil of stars draped across the night. The moon glows more intimately now, as if bending lower to guide you across. The trees stand hushed, guardians of silence, and the breeze flows so gently it feels more like a presence than a movement. All of it works together, creating a sanctuary for this crossing. The bridge itself shifts beneath your steps. Once shimmering brightly, filled with reflections, it now grows more transparent, almost invisible. It is as though the path disappears as you walk it, because you no longer need to see where you are going, you trust completely. You know you will be carried to the other side. There is no fear of falling, no doubt, no resistance. Only the inevitable flow of the journey. By now, your mind no longer seeks explanations. What matters is not understanding but feeling. And what you feel is a calm that deepens with every breath, reaching spaces untouched by rest for far too long. Sleep, once only a possibility, now feels near, almost tangible. You can sense its presence approaching, as if the very air were beginning to rock you in invisible waves of serenity. With each step, the sound of the river softens. It does not vanish, but transforms into a distant whisper, like a voice saying, "It is time to rest." And you obey, not from obligation, but because the invitation is irresistible. Your body responds naturally. Muscles yield. The mind settles. The heart finds a steady rhythm. It is as though every part of you adjusts itself for the moment of final surrender. At this stage, inner images begin to appear more clearly. You may see soft colors, or shapes without definition, floating and fading like lanterns drifting across a lake. These visions ask for nothing from you. They do not demand meaning. They simply accompany you, preparing your mind for the dreamscape. It is the secret language of sleep, announcing itself through symbols and light. Realizing this, a gentle smile stirs within you, even if your lips do not move. You understand that there is nothing to control. Sleep is not something to chase, it is a gift, one that arrives when you allow yourself to cross. The bridge is the path, but the destination is already assured, deep, restorative rest, carried within the silence of the night. And so, as you complete the crossing of the bridge of water and light, you are no longer the same as when you began. You arrive lighter, softer, more open. Worries remain behind, dissolved in the current. The river has kept its promise, to sing to you until you were ready to hear only the music within. And now, deep sleep is not a distant possibility but a present reality. It is here, waiting to receive you, ready to wrap you in the sweetest, most needed rest. On the far side of the bridge, you arrive in a serene field where the river divides into many small streams, winding gently across the land like veins of liquid light. Each one carries its own quiet melody, and together these melodies weave into a soft chorus, a hymn of peace that wraps the entire space. Here, time slows completely, and even your breath seems to follow a deeper, more natural rhythm, as though the universe itself were rocking you in its arms. This field is not just a place, it is an experience. The ground is soft, covered with damp grass that glimmers in the moonlight, as if woven from silver threads. The air is pure, cool, and every breeze carries with it the fragrance of water mingled with the faint perfume of night-blooming flowers that open only for those who know how to listen to silence. You realize you have entered a refuge, a sacred space made only for rest. The small arms of the river flow in different directions, yet never stray far from each other. They meet, cross, and intertwine, drawing patterns that look like lace stitched in light across the surface of the earth. The sound they create is delicate, no crashing waves, no urgency. Only murmurs, flowing variations that join into one gentle chorus. As you listen, you know you need nothing else. Everything you seek is already here. As you walk deeper into the field, your bare feet touch the cool grass, and the sensation ripples through your body like a wave. But instead of waking you, it calms you further. It is a paradoxical freshness that soothes, a reminder that you are both rooted and free, rooted like the trees around you, free like the breeze wandering over the streams. In this place, time does not behave the way it does beyond the bridge. Minutes and hours dissolve into meaninglessness. The field of stillness exists in another dimension, where only the present matters. No future to plan, no past to revisit. Only this moment, pure, whole, and complete. And that is the true gift this field offers, the chance to exist without hurry, without demands, without expectation. The river, as it divides, teaches you something essential. It shows you that life is not one rigid path but many streams running side by side, each with its own flow. Yet all belong to the same whole. This lesson enters you without effort, as though absorbed through your skin. Your heart seems to learn directly, without words, that it too can flow lightly, without resistance, without struggle. You sit down at the edge of one of these silver streams. Its song is constant, yet never the same. It changes endlessly, inventing quiet variations, improvising an infinite piece of music. You close your eyes and realize the chorus of the field is a reflection of your own breath. Each arm of the river mirrors a part of you, body, mind, spirit, all harmonizing, all contributing to one single melody, the song of stillness. And then, something curious happens. You notice that within silence, there is music. Within stillness, there is flow. Within the absence of worry, there is fullness. This realization feels like an unexpected gift, a revelation that does not need thought, only sensation. The field of stillness does not give answers, because you no longer need them. It gives presence, the reminder that simply being here is enough. The longer you remain in this space, the deeper your rest becomes. Your body feels as though it is melting into the grass, into the breeze, into the lull of the waters. The mind, once accustomed to rushing, now slows, or perhaps even stops altogether. Each thought lays itself down, finding its own bed of quiet. There is no fight, no effort. Only serene acceptance, natural and inevitable. The gift of stillness is not something you chase or conquer, it is something that finds you when you allow yourself to cross. It is the gift of being part of nature, of recognizing yourself in the river, in the field, in the sky. It is the gift of knowing that even in silence, there is movement, and even in movement, there is silence. It is the gift of resting not only in the body but in the soul. As you understand this, a gentle smile stirs within you, even if your lips remain still. You realize you do not need to take anything away with you. Everything is already given. Everything is already enough. The field of stillness exists to remind you, rest is not absence, but abundance. Deep sleep is not an escape, but a return. And by surrendering to this gift, you find yourself reunited with what you have always sought, the peace that has always lived inside you. Inhale peace, hold lightly, exhale surrender. Each wave of your breath joins the song of the river until there is no longer any difference between you and the calm water. In this moment, everything is reduced to the constant flow moving through you and around you, creating a silent symphony where time itself loses meaning. Your breath is the tide. The river is the lung. The night is the heart. And you are the bridge that unites them all. With every inhale, imagine drawing in the soft radiance of the moon. This liquid light spreads through your mind, dissolving every trace of tension. As you hold, feel it expand gently, illuminating each cell from within. And as you exhale, release every ounce of resistance, letting it drift into the river's current, absorbed and transformed into music. You begin to sense that you are not only breathing, you are creating waves that ripple across the water's surface. Each inhale births a new wave. Each exhale sends it outward, blending with others, merging into a greater movement. The sensation is one of complete unity. There is no boundary between where you end and where the river begins. Your body follows this rhythm with ease. Muscles, already softened, grow heavier, as though made of fine sand resting at the bottom of the stream. Your face smooths, every feature dissolving into tranquility. The mind no longer tries to chase images or thoughts. It simply drifts in step with the rhythm of the waves, enchanted by their simplicity, entranced by their perfection. Perhaps you notice, at some point, that your breath and the river's song are no longer distinct. It is as if a single great lung breathes through both you and the world around you. When you inhale, the river glows brighter. When you exhale, the river sings softer. The fusion is complete, subject and object vanish, leaving only the experience of pure flow. This integration awakens a peace so profound it cannot be described with words. It is not merely physical rest, nor simply mental quiet. It is larger, vaster, a state of belonging where you recognize yourself as part of everything that exists. Each wave, each star, each whisper of wind feels contained within you, and you, in turn, feel contained within them. Continue breathing in this rhythm. Inhale peace. Hold lightly. Exhale surrender. Repeat without hurry, without expectation. Notice how, with every cycle, the distance between you and sleep grows smaller. The field of stillness remains around you, but it now lives within you too, pulsing quietly in every part of your being. You no longer seek rest, rest has already found you. As this conscious breathing flows on, the river seems to settle further, as if handing you its final gift of the night, profound silence. Not an empty silence, but a living one, full of serenity, carrying you effortlessly. Within this silence, even the concept of effort dissolves. What remains is only being, only resting, only allowing yourself to be carried. In this state, you may feel as light as a wave vanishing into the endless sea, or as heavy as a river stone resting in the depths. Both sensations coexist, and both are right. Because what matters is not the form but the truth. You are surrendered. You are already merged with the rhythm of nature. And then, your breathing ceases to be an intentional practice and becomes simply what it always was, a natural reflection. You breathe because the river breathes. The river breathes because you breathe. This connection erases boundaries, dissolving the line between inside and outside. It is a place where no questions remain, for every answer has already been given in silence. The final waves of breathing are also the waves carrying you to the threshold of sleep. Each one is an invisible step, a seamless crossing. There is nothing left to hold. No weight, no urgency, no separation. Only surrender. And so, in this instant, you become the river itself. Calm. Infinite. Serene. A body of peace that breathes without effort, a reflection of the moon glowing without intention, a silent song cradling the night. Deep sleep is no longer a future promise. It is already here, alive within each breath that merges with the river's waves. You are calm. You are safe. You are at peace. These are not just words, they are seeds planted within you, blooming now in this very moment as you surrender to deep sleep. The river, which has accompanied you with its hypnotic song, will continue to sing for you, even inside your dreams. Its melody knows no boundaries. It stretches beyond wakefulness, crosses the bridge of consciousness, and cradles your being in the realm of imagination. Allow these affirmations to become living truths. As you hear "you are calm," notice how your entire body responds, releasing any trace of tension that may have lingered. As you hear "you are safe," feel your heart slow to a steady rhythm, like the waves that never tire of reaching the shore. As you hear "you are at peace," experience the vast silence opening inside you, a luminous space where nothing needs to be done, nothing needs to be said, nothing needs to be solved. The river stays with you. It does not leave, does not fall silent. Its song flows on, transforming into the soundtrack of your rest. In every curve of your dreams, in every image that rises through the night, there will always be a gentle echo, a reminder of the serenity you discovered here. No matter how far you seem to travel in dreamscapes, there will always be this invisible thread, this constant music, guiding you back to the center of calm. And as you sink deeper into restorative sleep, remember, you can return here whenever you wish. This place does not vanish. It lives inside you. Each night, the river will be waiting, singing softly, ready to guide you once again into the rest you deserve. The field of stillness, the bridge of light, the waves of breathing, they all continue to exist, held safely in the secret place where your heart meets peace. You do not need to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Now, your only task is to rest, to sleep deeply, to allow every cell to restore itself, every thought to dissolve, every part of your being to find balance. Sleep is a gift, and tonight, it is entirely yours. When the new day arrives, you will awaken lighter, calmer, more connected to the quiet essence that has always lived within you. The river will have done its work through the night, soothing, protecting, restoring. You will rise renewed, ready to live with greater clarity, energy, and peace. For now, all that matters is letting go. The river's song will be your guide. The silence of the night will be your home. And your dreams, Your dreams will be the landscape where you continue to be carried gently until you awaken only when your body has received the rest it needs. So let yourself drift. Do not resist sleep, do not rush it, do not question it. Simply allow it. You are calm. You are safe. You are at peace. And the river will keep singing for you in invisible waves, carrying you deeper and deeper still. Return every night for new stories, for new melodies of serenity. This is your place of rest, and it will always be waiting for you. Good night. Sweet dreams. Until the next journey along the tranquil waters of calm.